Aloha everyone, Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. Pretty good session for the overall stock market, but I gotta be honest, it wasn't that great. What would have made it great? Huge volume today and a high day close. As you can see here on the S&P 500, volume was lower than the session before. We didn't close at the high of the day, and we have yet another classic V-shaped bounce. Now, the only way that this V-shaped bounce is not going to lead to another sustained move down is if we somehow can pull back on lighter trade and a rounding out manner, which I don't know how it's going to happen, and then blast higher. But right now, everyone, it's good for our long positions, but there's a lot left to the imagination. There's, multiple, resistance lines here on the S&P 500. Just quickly, just drawing some right there. They're kind of crude, but you get the point. So there's, 1, 2, 3 there. We're above the 50. We have the 200-day moving average support now, but there's still got to be a lot of work to be done before we're in the all clear. Now, despite the strong gains also, another slight issue is that I only flagged a few possible long positions initially. I flagged FSLR as a potential add, Grub as a potential long. Gotta look at my notes. ABMD as a potential long, but ABMD just is extended from its 50-day moving average, or excuse me, 20-day moving average, along with the 200-day moving average, so short and long term. And there's just no green bop in this chart. FSLR, you just see the price action. It's just choppy, and FSLR, just too many people are on this stock. So I really just don't have any interest, and the BOP overall is still downtrending. This isn't a big enough surge today to really want to add to it. Grub, nice move off the 50, but as you can see, it's engulfing so much price action. It appears that it's probably too much. If it can build out sideways, get the 510 over the 20, round out, I'd be interested. But right now, just not enough green in this chart to have me interested, which left me with only new one long position that I almost missed. Seco is producing a long signal following Tuesday's session. Seco was in my Can Slim scan. I started my scanning 20 minutes after the close, thinking that was good enough for the Can Slim scan, and it would have been, if volume would have been above average here, because later on I would have found Seco. But instead, whenever I went through my scan, Seco didn't yet have green bop or the pocket pivot point signal showing up. Maybe even if it did have the pocket pivot point signal showing up, it didn't have the green bop. Went through the Can Slim scan, went through all my scans, didn't think I was going to have any new long positions for this evening. But a chat room member, Tickets, thank you very much, my man. He asked me how come I'm not taking this one as a new long position. I looked at it again and I was like, why the hell am I not taking this as a new long position? This stock didn't look like that whenever I went through my Can Slim scan. Went back through the Can Slim scan, it does in fact look like this after all. Go figure. Oh, surprise. And so it is a new long scan, but lesson from being learned from that is that the delayed data on telecharts 20 minutes minimum. That's definitely 20 minutes minimum. So I'll start have to waiting for 30 minutes after the close to scan so I don't miss stocks like that. It's 30 minutes, that's plenty of time for everything to come rolling through. But Seco, Can Slim scan, hammer, candlestick over hammer, candlestick price bar. Heavier volume the session before, green bop. Fighting back from the yellow bop the session before, and green bop is slightly higher than those previous green bop sessions, so everything's trending in the right direction except for the intermediate term bop. That's going the wrong way, but nice move off the 15 either way. Limit order 1325, first cut loss right there 1284, second cut loss right there 1268, third cut loss 1232, and final initial cut loss 1177. These levels go. Seco loses its green bop or loses that level on heavier volume. These levels hopefully will never come into play. But Seco, 1% of my account capital for being Can Slim quality was not confirmed anywhere else. But I don't mind pushing it. So normally I'm still working with January 2016 totals, by the way, everybody. I have not rebalanced at all my position sizes because we have not had anything more than a 10% correction since then, which is why I'm still using a Can Slim scan that has 1,500 stocks in it. Should only have about 1,000 or less. So I just haven't updated a lot. So with Seco, 1% of my account capital. In this one, where was I going with this? I have completely lost my train of thought, folks. I apologize. But Seco, 1% of my capital, 1325 with it. I have no idea where I was going. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have better notes, but I got to get these videos out. I'm going to go ahead and go over the speculative long positions too. ORGS and ORN, ORN, ORGS. You can see just like Seco, pocket pivot point signals off the 50-day moving averages. They're pretty clear cut. BOP is still green on ORN. It's trending higher. ORGS has green BOP. It's slightly trending higher, even though intermediate term not so good. Big volume surge today, above average pocket pivot point signal. Oh, sorry, got to go back to what I saw about Seco. 1% of my account capital. So I'm pushing up my 1% to $5,000. That's about 1% of my total account capital right now. But I'm still using from the old levels of 4,000. So with Seco, it should be about 4,000. But I'm going to go ahead and push around 5,000, which is about where my 1% would be now on Seco. So now with that being said, getting back to ORGS and ORN, these are 0.5% long signals on the speculative side, but I'm going to go ahead and use the old nut levels. So these are only going to get 2,000 a piece, not 2,500. So 2,000 a piece in ORN, 2,000 in ORGS, pocket pivot point signals off 50-day moving average. ORGS, I looked up its earnings per share and sales growth only on IBD, not on MarketSmith, and I saw that both are above 75% in the most recent quarter. That's pretty awesome from a biotech stock. I also noticed that it's just newly listed from the over-the-counter market. I would say that all that's good news. It's got strong earnings growth, strong sales growth, very rare in a biotech company. Stock just listed from OTCBB, so we should have some juice in it. But ORGS, I want to get long. Limit order 1045 to 1060, not sure. First cut loss can be at 962. You could also use 959, and then the final cut loss for now for me is 949. I might go ahead and then split it up further, but I would not be using any low beyond 860. 860, no matter how I decide to do it. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5 here, maybe 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. 860, no matter what, would be my last low on ORGS. ORN, that pocket pivot point signal, the bullish hammer candlestick over candlestick on the heavier above average volume with the BOP confirmation. Want to get long ORN, limit order 690. Don't want to pay up for it because it's speculative. But if you do pay up for it, 695 would be the max. First cut loss level right there. Don't have it written down. I think it's a move below 662. Second cut loss level right there. Move below 636. And then my final cut loss level initially will be 613 at 612. But remember, if this level goes or this level goes, losing that green BOP catalyst or doing it on heavier volume, I'll be raising all or partial stops on the position. But ORN, pretty good speculative name, pretty green overall in today's tape, especially if you just use the first stop level. First profit target objective can be this high, then this high, and then you could use this high here and then this high. It's up to you. ORGS is going to be a trend following position, but on half of the position that I get long. So if I have 100 shares, I'll put a good to cancel sell limit order for 50 of them at 1680. Seco is a straight following trend following position because it's quality, no profit targets whatsoever. Sell signals, really quick. ADMA. Closing below the 20-day moving average on above average volume, on heavier volume. It is an above average volume, so my half stop isn't at 480, even though this shows 480 on this date. It's really 479 on stockcharts.com. So half of my stop on my remaining position is at 478. I then have a stop level here, 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 all the way back to there on the remaining half of the position that I have. And WTT, I was knocked out a half of it intraday today. It's a 50% end of day sell signal. I will not be splitting up my final trailing stop right here at 221 because it's splitting hairs with 223 and I have small size already. So my final stop remains right below the 313 low a day. But on an end of day basis, you move 50% here or you sell 50% end of day basis. And then if you have any shares left, you can either put half here and half here, all here, all here. It's up to you. I'm telling you what I'm doing, all right here. And then EPV, pretty clear cut, closing below the 216 low a day. That is a 50% end of day sell signal. I was knocked out of half of my hedge. The remaining hedge, I have one stop here one stop here, one stop here. So 3 remaining stops, this level, and this level.